Sunday on Fox, the NASCAR Cup Series heads to Atlanta. Kyle Larson and the best of the best take on Echo Park Speedway for some high-speed chaos. Pre-race coverage begins at 2 Eastern with the green flag at 3, only on Fox.
Still green. Reddick on the bottom. Reddick, Elliott, and Reddick to the top side. He's got help. Riley Herbst, his teammate. Reddick drops to the bottom. Alongside Elliott, in the wall goes Herbst, and Tyler Reddick comes to the line.
Wow.
A shower of sparks behind him.
Daytona proves yet once again it's all about the last lap.
That's the only lap that you have to lead.
That's why my voice is gone.
As it should be.
Yeah, man. What a finish on Fox. Tyler Reddick, the Daytona 500 champ, in studio. Seemed like you enjoyed watching that finish right there.
It was, the last lap was wild. Honestly, the last couple of laps were pretty crazy leading up until that moment too, you know. For me in this, we could talk about the last lap. I mean, just my teammate, Riley Herbst, did an amazing job of pushing me back up into the mix down the back straightaway there. And yeah, just it seemed like Zane was trying to set up Chase right as I got to Zane. Zane thought, all right, I'll back up to Tyler and get a put. Nope, I left him hanging and went around the outside of him. And it just put me in a great spot to have a lot of momentum coming to Chase. And I think he knew trying to block a run of that size was going to be really hard to pull off. And so I was able to get to his inside. He was definitely thinking to be able to box Riley in behind him and make Riley push him, and Riley tried to get to his outside, and obviously that's when everyone crashed. So.
Well, so I mean that's the technical side.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's fascinating, and it's the only lap of the race that you lead. So I mean, it's an unbelievable set of circumstances. But like, does it feel real, man? Like the last 48 hours, you're the Daytona 500 champ, and it happened in totally insane fashion.
It surely did.
Has it sunk in? What's it been like?
Yeah, it has sunk in. You know, to be able to celebrate in victory lane. On the front stretch with my team, in victory lane with my team, my family, with my owners. It took time. You know, when I was standing out there in the grass on the car, jumping in the arms of my pit crew members, all right there, it truly still felt like a dream. You know, it took some serious time for it to, holy cow, this is reality. It's really happened, you know, because so much happened in a short period of time. It's not like I knew hours before it was over that I was going to win the race, right? Like, so much had to happen, and so much did happen with seconds to go in the race coming to the line.
So you talk about there's so much happening. There were a few near misses with you being involved early in the race, mid-race, and then obviously on that last lap. Like, as a driver, you're sitting in the car, you see things going down in front of you.
Well, that's the crazy part. The first one on lap 10, I didn't even see. BJ McLeod
when you get clipped.
When I get on the right side of the car, very early in the race, BJ McLeod's kind of up in the pack doing his thing. He's an underfunded team. And just something seemed wrong with his car going down the back straightaway. Like, he started darting around a bit. And next thing you know, I just felt something hook the right side of my car. And then my spotter, Nick Payne, said caution was out. I'm like, what just happened? I'm like, I don't know. You just dang near got wrecked on lap 10. So whether it was that moment at the end of stage 2, pretty much the entire field wrecked in front of me, like Days of Thunder-esque, can't see anything, don't know where to go. And I basically just tuck up behind somebody, don't knock my nose off. And as it kind of gets slowed down and the dust and debris and grass settles, it's like there's a little path I could dodge this car coming this way through the wreck. And then this one that was coming that way, I had to get by. It was just all throughout the race.
That was the one that was crazy. And I'm like, in that moment, do you feel like, man, luck is on my side?
As crazy as it sounds, those two moments at the beginning of the race and the middle of the race are pretty routine for me on a super speedway, being in the middle of that. That was kind of the name of my game last year, you know. Last year across all the super speedway races, that's the wreck I think I had to snake through that I was talking about in stage 2. The name of the game for us last year on speedways was surviving these kind of moments. When you add up all the races, you know, we scored more points than anybody else last year on the super speedways, and that in a lot of ways carried over into how we started our season at Daytona. Wow. Yeah.
You were on the podium with Mike, and Mike got emotional. He said, man, thank you, and thank your team, and believing in the strategy. I'm watching this. It looked like you was holding on for dear life, right? Like how much strategy goes into preparing for this race and executing at the highest level right there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, coming into this race, we have, and then, you know, it's an entire off season. It's give or take about 100 days. You know, we race from February to November, almost every single weekend with, you know, Easter off and maybe one other. And so, you know, the only time off you really have is in the winter. And, you know, it's your time to address the things you want to improve. For us, we didn't win a race in 2025, which is something I hadn't really faced in a number of years with how we've been competing at the level we've been competing. So we had a lot of hard conversations, a lot of tough conversations. And for us to come out of the gates like this, and even in the middle of the race, you know, stage one, it didn't play out the way we needed to. I made some decisions in the car that cost us points. Same thing happened in stage two. And so the race kind of went down the path of how they went down the road for us every time in 2025. And we did a good job of, nope, it's not gonna be like last year. We're gonna reset for stage three and we're gonna go do what we need to do. And that's what we did. You know, through the green flag cycle, we had to pit with another group of cars. We wanted to pit with our Toyota teammates. We ended up pitting with the Fords. We didn't let that, you know, getting off of schedule mess us up. We kept our head in the game, and we cycled back onto the racetrack, you know, for the final time. We were in position, you know, to duke it out and you know, have a shot at winning the race like we did.
Great job, man.
So, I'm a child of the 90s. I grew up in Chicago. I have to ask, what's it like having Michael Jordan as a boss?
There's a lot of pressure that comes with it. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Like, can you picture him as not Michael Jordan? Is that a ridiculous question? Like, every time I would look at him, I'd be like, hey, man,
yeah, it's.
Remember that shot against Utah? That was awesome. Like, is it possible to disassociate and just make him, you know, owner of the team, just a boss?
It is really hard. I'm not going to lie, but, you know, he is that Michael Jordan, but I know him as Michael Jordan. You know, he is that Michael, but I also know him as Michael Jordan, the team owner, Michael Jordan, the diehard racing fan. You know, when I got to spend some time with him and talking about what my future would look like, the possibility of driving at 2311, I got to learn from him firsthand in his words how much racing means to him and how far back it goes for him. So to hear someone like Michael Jordan say of all the drivers in the garage, you're the guy I want driving my car the most, you know, it's just those words coming from someone like Michael, just like, I mean, it's crazy, right? It truly is crazy. So to understand that he cares about racing just as much as you do, and then have someone like Denny Hamlin there that knows racing like he does, and just to have owners like that just want to go out there and win so bad and are willing to put everything they can towards it. I mean, how do you tell someone like Michael Jordan no? How do you not come drive for him? And for me, being able to have the trust of him to drive his race car, and in hopes of delivering in clutch moments, to be able to do it and win races like the Daytona 500 and add this trophy, the Harley Gerald trophy, to MJ's collection is a true honor, honestly.
So I'm a competitive guy. I don't know if I'm as competitive as Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I don't know if I am either.
I'm going to say that you're not, Greg. Tyler, you don't know.
I just have a hard time believing that, okay, you're hoisting the trophy right there with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Has he ever, like, challenged you to compete? Like, get in
I
the
think
car?
I know he wants to get in the race car. It's just a matter of finding one that, you know what I mean, that'll fit in it. Yeah.
Right.
So he loves racing. Like I said, I got to hear so much about that and getting to know him. And, you know, obviously over time, right, I heard those words, but I've seen his interests, you know, his text messages, his presence at airspeed, his presence in our meetings, important meetings that we have, you know, after a tough day or after a great day or going into 2026. I mean, he truly integrates himself into the process, and, you know, it means a lot to me, but it speaks, I get to have more interactions with him than probably, you know, some of the people that work on the floor at airspeed back in 2311. And for him to put himself out front like that and to be seen by all of the men and women at 2311 that this means that much to him, it just motivates us all to go out there and give it everything that we have.
So Tyler, the Michael Jordan component, the race, winning the Daytona 500, it's always going to be an unbelievable story, but your personal story, I think people should know. Yeah. And if you're kind enough to share it with us, your 8-month-old son,
Yeah.
rookie, recently had his kidney removed because there was a tumor that was growing that was impacting his heart. And he was with you at Daytona along with your wife and your other son, Bo. Can you just share the story for us? And he had a pretty cool milestone at Daytona too, didn't he?
Yeah, rookie got to, I mean, I watched him. He was over here patting the trophy, just like making eyes with it. You know, rookie loved this thing. So, but yeah, my son, he, you know, from the time that he was born, it always, you know, me and Alexa would talk about it. You know, he would just be in pain. He wouldn't sleep great. One thing that was very obvious is anytime he would take in food or we would try to give him a bottle, just randomly, he would just, the entire bottle would come up. And there was just a number of things going on at the same time that just didn't seem like, you know, normal growing pains or things that like babies grow out of. And, you know, things were just going down the wrong path for a long enough time. You know, we were at the pediatrician's office multiple times a week addressing things coming up. And, you know, I wasn't loving, I guess, the answers, right? And my wife certainly wasn't either. And so things just got to a point where we were genuinely concerned for the well-being of our child. And she decided, I don't like the answers I've been getting, so I'm going to take Rookie down to Levine's Children's Hospital. And they're able to understand pretty quickly, yeah, your son is in heart failure. And we figured out what was going wrong, but it took time to go through the systems, if you will, and understand what is causing this. And that period of time when we knew he was in pretty serious amount of heart failure, and until we were able to understand what was causing it and have the plan of how we're going to address it, that period of time of going from thinking our kid's, you know, healthy, or being told our kid's healthy or doing okay, and these things will resolve themselves, to then finding out this will not resolve himself. He's got heart failure. That period of time from there until figuring out what the plan was going to be to get him better was really, really tough for everybody. It was tough for my son, it was tough on me, and it was really tough on my wife. So it was a hard time. I was very thankful to have a lot of great people surrounding me, the entire NASCAR industry, supporting, helping, reaching out, doing anything they could to help, you know, make our lives easier. And so, yeah, to see Rookie, you know, have successful surgery and then, you know, very quickly start to bounce back from the surgery and the heart failure was very promising to see for me. And to have him as healthy as he is now and as happy as he is all the time and sleeping and eating, and then, you know, being in victory lane for one of, you know, my life's biggest moments was just awesome.
And didn't he start to crawl at Daytona?
Yeah, he started crawling, you know, the Monday before the race when we got down there. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's a big thing for him too.
Yeah.
You guys both had these milestone things at Daytona. So congratulations. Absolutely. It's an incredible story of perseverance for your family, for you as a racer. And thank you very much for coming in studio and sharing this with us.
Brother.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Tyler Reddick, the Daytona 500 champ, with us on First Things First.